Kenya Prison Service welcomes you to National Police College Embakasi A campus. May I have your permission to dismiss the quarter guard, sir?
Tusikaribie ndo tusiharibu sisi.
Sana mgeni wetu rasmi kwa kuweza kufungua na kuweka wazi majina ya mashujaa wetu.
Jeshi, tunaliheshimu jina lako takatifu asubuhi hii ya leo. Jehova, tumekutana mahali hapa Bwana, na ili tukaweza kusherehekea na kukumbuka maisha ambao wenzetu ambao wameshaondoka waliweza kuishi, Bwana wa majeshi.
sana. Kuweka maua. Asante sana hao watoto wa mashujaa wetu
Today we dedicate and honor men and women who were killed in brave execution of duty. The heroes and heroines should truly give us a pause to reflect. Brave officers whose backgrounds and stories are as diverse as our nation itself gave their lives to protect our safety and to defend our freedoms. They are forever bound together by an unbreakable bond of valor, as I echo the words of Minot Savage, that the brave never die. Though they sleep in dust, their courage nerves as 1,000 living men. To husbands, wives, parents, children, siblings, friends, and fellow officers, all of those here today who have been touched by the lives we honor, you have been called upon to bear a special burden. And though there is no speech or ceremony that can ease your pain, no tribute or salute today can do the same, we join together to honor their courage and patriotism and to fill your hearts with our nation's gratitude towards you and towards our fallen heroes. Though we may grieve, we emphatically reject despair. Unlike most other careers, the brave men and women who embark upon a life of law enforcement know fully that they might one day be called upon to lay down their lives on the call of duty. Those we honor today made that choice. Indeed, they embraced it. They have paid the ultimate price. They have served and sacrificed for a purpose greater than themselves. I can think of no truer definition of a hero. They have served and lived for the common good. To them, J.F. Kennedy's words, "Think not what the country can do for you, but rather what you can do for the country," rings true. The flowers we have laid today will remind us that we must all be keepers of the flame once borne by our fallen heroes. Let us bind ourselves together with a new bond of service to make our country brighter, safer, and more hopeful. And in so doing, let us honor the memory of our fallen heroes every day. We read in the scriptures, "Greater love has no man than this, that a man laid down his life for his friends." Let us remember these words today and always. And in deepest gratitude, let us be secure in the knowledge that our dear friends rest in peace, beholding the glory of God and in a place of honor. May God rest their souls in eternal peace. To you, the families of our fallen heroes, may you be consoled and may you never lack in all your needs. Know that we pray for you daily and that we appreciate what you do. Do it well, because it is for the greater glory of God. May God continue to bless you. May he protect you, and may he lead you to render your service to this our great country, that we always are positive, that we will always be patriotic, and that we may be loyal to our country and to our president. May God bless us all. Thank you very much.
Excellency, today is another solemn occasion that we gather here for the 6th year in a row to honor our sons and daughters who've given selfless service to this country, just to keep our country safe. And as we were standing outside there laying flowers, I was really touched when the young girls and boys who've lost their parents also joined us in laying the wreath at the monument. And just like one of the speakers said, maybe to a number of them, they probably haven't internalized the gravity of what we are doing today. But it's actually a permanent mark in their lives that their lives will never be the same again. They've lost such an important part of their lives and livelihood. And even to the rest of the family members, the spouses, the parents, as a nation, we owe them a big sense of gratitude for having given these officers to us. And going through the circumstances that some of these officers have had to lose their lives, I think for me it calls on all of us as a country to start to ask ourselves what we need to do to actually honor them in the way that befits the sacrifices that they've made. When we lose officers trying to protect our girls from some of the cultural practices that we all have accepted that we cannot continue to live with. When we lose our officers in the front line fighting with bandits or helping us to deal with terrorism, and even in certain instances when we lose officers whose only responsibility is to ensure that our sons and daughters do exams in a conducive environment, and then we have characters within us who take it upon themselves to take away their lives. I think we need to really call on all of us as a country and ask, where is our nationhood? Where is our patriotism? And many a times, as a country, we easily blame the police officers, our prison officers, as they try to do their work, and they do it diligently. We rarely stop to ask what our contributions are in keeping this country safe and also in advancing some of the things that we hold dear as a country. And therefore, as a PS within the ministry that is responsible for keeping the country safe, that is responsible for making sure that we do the best, His Excellency the President made certain commitments, and we are following through on those commitments. There are a number of recommendations, and part of those recommendations from the task force that was chaired by the retired Chief Justice Maraga included how to look after our fallen heroes. As we speak today, we are in an advanced stage of working on the Veterans Bill, and we have no doubt by the beginning of next year it will see the light of the day when we take it to Parliament, so that the families of these gallant officers live in dignity, and also we have a much more predictable way of looking after our officers. I've also listened to what the representatives of the families have spoken to, the need for us to have a way of engaging and counseling them, amongst other support that we need to give to them, and working closely with you, Your Excellency, together with the Inspector General of Police and my colleague PS for Correctional Services, we will ensure that we give them the support and the dignity that is befitting of the families. Your Excellency, without taking a lot of time, is to also appreciate the honor that you've given us, despite your very busy schedule, to come and preside over this important event. With those many remarks, may I ask that we all be upstanding as I invite Your Excellency to address us. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me close by expressing my gratitude to all of you who have participated in this event and made it a success. Special thanks to the families and friends of the officers whom we are recognizing. I also wish to commend the members of the National Police Service and the Kenya Prison Service for their continued acts of bravery in securing our nation. May you continue doing so with courage. Finally, I encourage you to enhance the collaboration between the police and the people whom you serve, so that together we can build a safer and more cohesive Kenya. Let me, on a very personal note, say that I was truly touched by the honor and respect that is projected through this remembrance ceremony. It is exceptional, it is moving, and it is equally befitting. I commend you for recognizing your heroes and heroines. More often than not, society sometimes forgets that our security services are human. Even as they wear their uniform, what runs in their body is blood, just like any other citizen. When you hear stories, as they are giving the citations of each of the fallen officers, you see those who are hit from terror. You see those who are hit from practices that have no meaning anymore, like cattle rustling. You see those who have fallen because they were coming out to protect our daughters and sisters from punitive cultural practices. You see those who have fallen because they were failing examinations so that the integrity of our educational system can be upheld by making sure that exams get to the schools on time and in safety, being attacked. Very heart-rendering moments that we rarely see out there. This is something that we need to work together as a nation to also let the public know that there are people, men and women, who are sacrificing for the good of this country. And it should not be a vilification game or attitude every other day. So, on behalf of the government, on behalf of the people of Kenya and the executive in particular, let me take this very, very solemn but important opportunity to say that we recognize you and we recognize what you do. You can imagine just one night without the security, what would happen to this country? I don't want to imagine. So we are with you. We wish you well. And for the families, we wish you Godspeed, especially knowing that you are very young and your children are young. But the spirit and the direction and the policy position being developed by the service is very progressive, and it will be transformative when it is fully concluded, so that such eventualities can also be moderated. We can never quite fill the gap of your loved ones, but we can only moderate. But ultimately, God is the greatest comforter. I am delighted to join you all for this commemoration of service to honor the fallen officers of the National Police Service and Prisons Service. We are gathered here in solemn remembrance of 29 gallant officers who died in the line of duty during the past 1 year. Our befitting tribute is to honor these heroes and heroines for their courage, selfless service, and ultimate sacrifice to make Kenya a better place for all of us. These officers are part of the 383 officers who have transitioned in the past 6 years since this commemoration service was established. Their names will be engraved on the commemorative monument, which is updated every year. It is gratifying to note that the leadership of the police and prison services have ensured that this ceremony is observed every year without fail. This is particularly comforting to the families of those departed officers and the colleagues who worked with them. This platform provides us with an opportunity to reflect on their remarkable legacy and to reaffirm our unwavering commitment to the values they dearly upheld. Their dedication inspires us to continue serving our country with integrity, resilience, and deep sense of duty to improve the security of our people. It also challenges us to support the families of the officers who are breadwinners of their families and departed at a young age. They need our emotional support and resources to continue meeting daily needs. The government encourages the police and prison services leadership to use compassionate initiatives to support these families. It is comforting to note that 6 widows and 3 orphans were recruited during the last cohort in January 2023, as indicated by the Inspector General. I am assured that qualified widows, widowers, orphans, and the next of kin will continue to be considered in subsequent recruitments. The families are also receiving compensation, irrespective of the causes of death, whether by accident, work-related causes, and stress-related suicides. The level of compensation is higher for accidental deaths, which is in line with best practices, but across the board. This scheme ensures equity and fair treatment for all affected officers. Furthermore, we assure these families that the government has engaged insurers to ensure prompt settlement of claims. The National Treasury will ensure premiums are disbursed in time to avoid claims being delayed by pending premiums. Prior to this event, the affected families received fair tokens for Christmas. The Office of the CS has also, in past occasions, sponsored these families with tokens, foodstuff, and payment for lunches or meals during the festive season. Let me reaffirm the government's commitment to improving the welfare and working conditions of all officers and their families through decent housing, improved medical services, and counseling for those who are mentally or socially distressed.